Concord is Sony's biggest failure of all time, and while it might be Firewalk Studios' first game release, it's also going to be their last, judging by the fact that it failed to top 700 concurrent players over its release weekend. But now basically everybody on social media is pointing and laughing at this game and how much of a disaster it's been. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, just a few weeks ago, we saw the open beta for this game fail to even hit 2,500 players, and that did not bode well, because when we're talking about a free to everyone open beta that you simply had to click a few buttons and download and you could play, and you could only hit 2,500 people, we didn't think the launch numbers were going to even be close to that, and they definitely are not, because now that you have to actually pay for the game and they expect you to shell out $40 freaking dollars for it, it has not even been able to top 700 players in game at one time on Steam. And of course, this did come out on other platforms, and we don't know the PlayStation numbers for this, but one would assume it's probably not good either, simply because these numbers on PC are so abysmal, and we know when it comes to hero shooters, a majority of the people playing them are typically on PC, at least from what we've heard from companies like Blizzard with Overwatch. But in-game right now, a Sunday afternoon, when you would think the numbers would be at its highest, everybody's home, everybody's playing video games, they're ready to, enjoy their day. Well, it doesn't look like they're thinking they're going to get much enjoyment out of Concord, seeing as only 319 people are currently in game. This is a AAA launch that has been in development for 8 freaking years. Sony bought Firewalk Studios back in 2021 because they believed that this was going to be a massive Overwatch competitor. They really thought that this game was going to be some massive financial success and that everyone was gonna love it. And well, it doesn't look like they're drawing in any players for this experience, and I don't even think that the roadmap they initially said they had that spans years is going to come to fruition. I just do not see a way that they are going to continue to invest time and money into this, just what the contracts probably initially said, which from what we understand is typically a year. If you look at other similar, like live service failures like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, it was a massive bomb, lost Warner Brothers over $200 million, but we know that they're sticking by that initial roadmap they gave. They're supporting it for a year, and then they're probably going to drop it like a rock and never look back at that chapter of their business. But 319 people is absolutely abysmal. That means they can barely get, a handful of lobbies together. I mean, that is not good news for Firewalk or Sony, but it doesn't help with the fact that we have developers on this project coming out and attacking people, which has only made the backlash significantly worse surrounding Concord. Of course, this is just a DEI-driven disaster. It is a significantly worse version of an Overwatch, and they expect you to pay for it, which, hey, I completely understand that in 2016, when Overwatch released, it was a $40 game, but it's not 2016 anymore. All of their competition is free to play. They needed to follow suit and have a free-to-play game. If you want to compete in a market like this, in this specific genre, you do need to follow what your competition is doing, and that's just free at the end of the day. But then we saw a developer melting down over the fact that the game was facing so much backlash, calling gamers a bunch of talentless freaks for criticizing people, but also silencing gamers by hiding their replies on the thread. Their meltdown ensued, saying, I don't really care. It was a huge labor from a lot of insanely talented people making an awesome game. Why would I care about a bunch of talentless freaks hating on it? Of course, classic, insulting the customers that you could have, and also insulting the content creators who would cover your game. I mean, I covered it on my channel. I absolutely hated the game and was brutally honest when I said that it was one of the worst games that I've played because it just was so painfully generic and cringeworthy, and every single character backstory was really lame because everyone was trying to fight against a perceived evil and wanting to make the world a better place while acknowledging the past problems that they've created for the world that they now want to fix. And the character designs are awful. The gameplay is, again, just a much worse version of Overwatch. Like, there was nothing good about this, but I still streamed it on my channel when the free open beta was going on because I wanted to at least highlight it for you guys, and there's no way that I was going to pay $40 for it. And it doesn't look like a lot of other people are either. But when you have a developer taking to social media to attack people and they're calling us, all talentless freaks, that's not going to get people to whip out their credit card and swipe it on your experience. That makes people want to stay away from your product. And, well, it looks like they need all the help they can get, but, just simply typing in Concord on X brings up so many people absolutely annihilating this game, pointing out the fact that there are tons of journalists trying their very best to defend this title and say, hey, listen, Concord's a game that deserves your attention, to even other studios saying that they have their developers in-game. Manga Lawyer had made a post saying, boss, I've been programming for 9 hours. Can I go home? Sure, but you'll need to play Concord all weekend or the Steam charts will drop to 0. And it's like Naughty Dog, Ben Studios, Insomniac making, posts saying that they've got their developers playing right now, which all boils down to Overlord Sony because they're all Sony first-party studios. Sony must have told them, hey, listen, we need you to make posts on your social accounts right freaking now because this game is doing so bad, which just comes across as so hilariously desperate. Because as a gamer, if I see all of these studios making these posts saying, oh my god, we're in game right now, and I only see that there's 300 people in game, that does not fill me with a lot of confidence. People are saying things like Concord might have the ugliest character designs I have ever seen. I completely agree. There is not one single character design that from head to toe, from model to outfit, that looks good. None of them do. They all look so painfully generic, while at the same time being so out there that they just look abysmal. I don't know what these people were thinking, why this design in their mind was going to sell copies of a game. And yeah, I mean, the way a character looks is not everything. The gameplay, the map and level design, those are extremely important because you're playing a game, but you still want to invest in a cool looking game. I love the look of Overwatch. I think most of the characters in Overwatch and the style look really good. Is the style everything? No, but it definitely helps when you want to sell me $20 cosmetics and you go, oh, here's the brand new Mercy Witch skin, and I go, oh, I play Mercy and I really freaking like that skin. It helps to have really amazing character designs, and it just shows that these people are not very good at their job because this is the best they could come up with. At the end of the day, I'm not really surprised to see this be a massive financial and critical failure for Firewalk Studios. I don't know what they were doing in the 8 freaking years of development time, unless we find out that, Sony, when they bought Firewalk, had them scrap everything they had made up until that point, which wouldn't honestly be that shocking, but we don't have any information like that. I will be keeping my eye out for any news surrounding Concord, any other developer meltdowns, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.